Right, we're back. We were at chapter 32 of Isaiah, which says, "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment." Judgment. So a king shall reign, and princes shall rule. Now, we waited a week and a half because we know there are people out there that want to be that. They have their whole entire mindset set on it. Now, if you knew what it was, you wouldn't want to be it. If you knew what it involved, you'd know you were far away from it. So Sue said, "I'm going to pull a sword out of a stone," and then came back and said, "I've pulled a sword out of a stone." And Steve said, "You don't know what you're talking about. You honestly don't." So we get to this predicament that the first 30 chapters has discussed. The demise of your country, because you're a bunch of lunatics thinking you can mimic each other. What was that bird? The mockingbird? Mocking? Or was it the raven? Forevermore. Forevermore. Something to think about, because we look at a bunch of idiots on one hand trying to beat the courtrooms and failing every single time they try to, which tells me that you're being manipulated by the police to play that game, so that when you do end up in courtrooms, all of your evidence has been gathered by those police and submitted to those police prosecutors, so those police, and this is the literal fact, can harm their own countrymen. "But I work for the state, I just do what I'm told." Yeah, but technically, you caused the demise of your country by fining all your countrymen and putting them into poverty and human trafficking them in international law. Yeah, you, Mr. Police Officer, chose to human traffic your own countrymen on behalf of a foreign power. Interesting that, right? So you've got this game of manipulation going on so that people can keep their jobs, so that other people can keep a silver spoon at the table, while all of you go poor. Albo's fault, Pauline Hanson's fault, Scott Morrison's fault, Tony Abbott's fault, Malcolm Turnbull's fault. These are all people you need to blame for your current circumstances. "Oh, but I just voted for a politician." No, these are career politicians that knowingly work for foreign interests going against Section 44 of your Constitution, and you allow it to occur on a daily basis because you can't stand up as a people. "Oh, I've got to become the king," said Matthew. "Sue's going to pull a sword out of a stone. Oh, Sue, you're so much a hero." Considering Steve did it on a video, published it on a YouTube channel, and it's been sitting there for over 2 years, you could have just gone and watched it and learned what it was. But none of you did. It's less than 600 views on that video. These interesting things, right? Well, you get some heroes at one end profiting from all of you making flags and selling you all these trinkets while conning you at the same time. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? So let's have a look at chapter 32 this morning. I've got my dictionary. I can go and grab some other reference books, but let's concentrate on chapter 32. Now, before we venture in, the comments better. You're starting to think amongst yourselves. You might have woken up a little bit. Thank you very much for all the donations. Jump down below and drop in a donation so that we can keep this going. We've got a little bit left here to do with Isaiah, but there is more in here that you need to learn, and it's not for you to copy. So thank you for the donations. Jump down below and drop in a donation if you find all this useful and helpful. When I look at the comments, people are very kind in that, well, no one can do a video like you. Thank you. It's not that anyone can do a video, because lots of you could. Lots of you could speak with conviction if you knew what you were talking about. So it didn't matter what subject matter you wanted to choose here. If you want to go on YouTube and teach your mechanics where your mind level is, Matthew, instead of God, where your mind level isn't, might be more beneficial to you. Might be more beneficial to you. Now, the reason I can sit here with conviction is because 20 years later I've done the courtrooms. I've succeeded in certain things. I've learnt a lot. I continue to learn today. So to have the attitude that you know everything is going to lead you to failure, and to recognize that I do what I do because it comes from knowledge. That's all. I would expect the same from any of you in relation to your chosen field. Now, I chose this. I'm an IT guy by trade. I actually program, right? So I can do a lot of programming. I do a lot of systems administration, which is server rooms and installing networks and stuff, right? So my skills come from a high skill industry where this has been part of the family ideology, not trained, not Bible bashing family, just a family that is old enough to know through its bloodline history why this is important. That's all. We're not church going, attend church every Sunday people. This tells you not to. This tells you to go into your bedroom and do it in your own privacy. So let's have a look further. While we know that a bunch of people mimic, while we know that a bunch of people mock, trying to push their legal stupid on you, and there has to be a reason as to why they do it. That's not how it works, said the police officer. Just remember that. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. Now, a king reigns because we're 30 chapters in already. And if you haven't picked up on it, it already told you what to do. There's a second story in the story that you didn't pay attention to. So it already told you what to do. Now, those princes are the other heads of their houses that recognize that Steve did something. Then they came to judge that thing. And this is where RAR soldiers turned up and sat down, and about 10 of us sat in a group while I showed them what was this. They then looked at my work and couldn't prove it wrong and started to judge it, to tear it apart, to try and prove it wrong. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, righteous, right? By divine right, by right of lineage, by right of standing. And princes shall rule in judgment. Well, your other fathers of all the estates gathered together shall rule the city. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Now, would that great rock be the stone of remembrance? And would that dry place be, this is holy ground? Genesis 1:9. So if we just flick back to the beginning of the book here. One 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. A man shall be as a hiding place. A city, an estate, shall be as a hiding place from the wind. An estate, a man, an estate. And the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. Well, that's what I'm talking about with these RAR soldiers, plus a lot of you. A lot of you have started to realise that I did do something real. These words do define it. There is something in this book that you've never been shown, that you likely will never be shown. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. You'll snap out of your stupid. You'll be like, oh crap, that's what it means. I'll speak plainly now because I've been speaking all of these lortard garbage for the last years. The vile person shall be no more called liberal. The vile person, liberals. Nor the churl said to be bountiful. Well, there's no bounty in credit. I've got lots of borrowed money. I'm rich. I can't pay it back, but I'm rich. For the vile person will speak villainy. The liberal will speak villainy. Oh, we need to use more of those Reserve Bank notes to get us out of the debt that we're in. And his heart will work iniquity. We'll let the 1% take everything so that it's not equitable to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fall. It's credit. You ran out of credit. 75 years of debt collecting. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. Here, have a fine. Have a contract, have a commercially based contract on your estate, right? He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor. Have another fine, have another fine, have another fine. Oh, you spoke up. Let's attack you. Have another fine, have another fine, have another fine. but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Rise up, you towns. Rise up, you people. Hear my voice, ye careless townsfolk. Give ear unto my speech. Lend me your ears. Go and chop your left ear off and put it in a basket for me. No. Listen up. That's where we look at these failures and these copycats. They're not listening. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Make you bare. Bankrupt you, strip you of all your assets, privatize everything, put you in a position that you don't realise that you as a people own Telecom Australia, that was privatised into Telstra. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Lament. Let's look that word up. Lament. L-A-M-E-N-T. Lament. Lament. To mourn for, to bemoan, to deplore, to bewail, to weep or wail, to mourn, to feel deep regret or sorrow, grief or sorrow expressed in complaints or cries. Lamentation, an elegy of or mournful ballad, lamentable, mourning, sorrowful, expressing grief, tittered to awaken lament, pitiable, miserable, pitiful, low, poor. Lamentableness, the state of being lamentable. Lamentably, manner to cause or express sorrow, pitifully. Lamentation, act of bewailing, expression of sorrow. Lamenter, one that laments. Lamentingly, in a lamentingly manner. So it's about being pushed out. There will be lamentation as you are pushed out into the outer kingdom. Matthew 5, I think, is where it tells you that you will be pushed into the outer kingdom. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. They shall whine like children. Oh, what happened to it now? Oh, why is everything so expensive? Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Debt, contracts, allegiances to foreign interests, because the palaces shall be forsaken, forgotten, abandoned. The multitude of the city shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks, until the Spirit be poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness be a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest. Now, we've already discussed the forest temple of Lebanon. Do you have a fruitful forest? And now we talk about forts and towers shall be dens forever. Would that be the Shrine of Remembrance? Would that be Government House in the King's Domain? Would that be the Herbarium in the King's Domain? Would that be the courthouse up the North Line? Would that be government? And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. Assurance forever. You'll always be this country because you stand upon a rock. You're not swayed by international waters. You're not manipulated of the mind to be the device of a foreign power. And the work of righteousness shall be peace. Now, peace in international law is paying off your debts. Now, if this country's $11 trillion in debt, does that debt exist? Or is it just you using a trade supply, working for the man, right? The city? No. The state? Maybe. Foreign power occupying your federal government? More than likely. And my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation and in sure dwellings and a quiet resting places. When it shall hail, coming down on the forest, and the city shall be low in a low place. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. Now the ass, the donkey. Christ came riding a donkey. Right? And that ox might have something to do with Taurus, right? We can see here that a king stood up and said, I see, I hear. I need to tell my people we're in this situation. And as soon as that was done, what happened? You're all sovereign citizens, according to David Halpin, criminal magistrate of the New South Wales Magistrates Court. Fucking muppet should be in jail for what he did. Instead of putting this muppet in jail, they promoted him to the glass ceiling of academia. What you can see is these people that control your country have silver spoons up their noses. More concrete for Queensland, Pauline. More concrete for Queensland. And they have silver spoons on their tables. They're pensions that they should never be paid. To go into public service is not a job, a career. It's representation of you, the people. So why are you paying all of these politicians pensions after only serving one representative period, 3 to 4 years? Do you think they deserve to be paid out of your coffers? Do you think they should rotate and change every 4 years so that they do represent you as a people? Or do you think people like Pauline Hanson should sit there for 50 years, lie to you continuously, never get anything done, and then ask for a pension? A credit payment, which your children have to pay off. Where's the money come from if they're a bankruptcy administrator? Think about these things. It's time for you to wake up. before you lament the fact that someone else has taken your agriculture, forestries, fishery and mining away from you, your food bowl, while you serve a foreign power. So think about these things. Chapter 33. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled. Pauline? Silver spoon? More concrete for Queensland, Pauline? Woe to thee that spoilest, the spoilers, the ones that fucked this all up for you. Pauline Hanson, Malcolm Roberts, Babette, all these incompetent politicians that have no idea what's going on in the world. And dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. The moment you start to wake up and snap out of this manipulation by these people, they turn on you and start dealing treacherously with you. You're all sovereign citizens. You're all terrorists. You're all enemies of the state. What? Fuck? I'm just a countryman trying to stand up for my country. Nah, you're a terrorist. We got the police on you. Is there loyalty in your country when the police are constantly attacking you for wanting to stand up for yourselves? Think about that. Now, if we look at this a different way, they're talking about the Lord host of heaven. The Lord, all caps. Thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. O Lord, all caps, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, and our salvation also in the time of trouble. Our arm, tick-tock. So we see this arm every morning. The rising of the sun, we shall remember some shit. What did they do? Rather than remember them, what did they do? What did they leave you so that you should remember what they did so you could have it? At the noise of the tumult, the people fled. At the lifting up of thyself, the nations were scattered. Oh shit. Here's someone that's speaking the truth while under administration. And your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar, as the running to and fro of the locusts shall he run upon them. Now, we've already discussed this term locusts. Locusts and honey, the name of the channel. So we can see that locusts means consumers. You consumed everything that was left. You produced nothing. Your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar, picked off the plants, little bit by little bit. And then you'll go along and consume the plants like locusts. The Lord, all caps, is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. So this king that came along and saw all this stuff on the ground that you're trying to mimic and copy and mock, right? Your own foundations at law. The Lord of hosts, the system defined in the book here, is exalted. Exalted. E-X-A-L-T-E-D. E-X. Exalt. Alter. Make high. Altus. High. To raise high. To lift up. To elevate in rank. To dignify. To magnify. To lift up with joy. To elate. To elevate the tone of. To render pure or refined. Exaltation. Act of exalting or raising high. State of being elevated. Exalted, raised to a height. Dignified, lofty. Exalter, one that or that which exalts. So, raising up high this foundation out of your stone of remembrance. It's proof of who you are versus what administers you. And this is the problem that a lot of you are having in those courtrooms when you play your stupid lawtard and act like sovereign citizens. You're not standing up for yourselves. You don't even know who you are. And that's a problem, because Sue said, "Oh, I've pulled a sword out of a stone." Sue, let me just be blunt. You're a fucking idiot. Matthew, let me just be blunt. You haven't got a fucking clue. And to those other lawtard idiots try to push you all to do your lawtard into courts. Oh, he's done all these things for all of you. What? By looking like that in a courtroom, he represented me. I would have thought the person that represented me would have worn a suit. Some low-rung bogan from Western Brisbane or Western Sydney. It's probably from the place in Ipswich where they cut their second heads off. They think they know stuff. Let me just be blunt. You're fucking idiots. The Lord is exalted. The Lord, all caps, is raised high, dignified. He came out of a stone of remembrance in a king's domain called Zion, with judgment and righteousness. Oi, all of you, remember those 62,000 men that died for this? Well, why are you on that other fucking ship for? Why are you on that ship? You're not defending what they died for. You're defending foreign interests going against Section 44.1 and Section 44.2 of the very Constitution. But you copycats wouldn't realise that while you play your lunatic in your lunatic asylum. Oh, I'm the king. Oh. How? Are you on a courtroom record? Did you travel the country? Did you do anything this book ever told you to do in the last 20 years? Or did you pop your head up in the last couple of years and go, I'm going to copy all of that and I'm going to be some sort of lunatic in a lunatic asylum? Facebook, right? Police book. I'm going to be the police book hero. I'm going to con all these people into believing stupid shit like Matthew does. You deserve what you got, is what the Bible's telling you. You forgot to raise high what was your foundations to your country while you served something foreign to those foundations. And right at the end of it all, you're starting to feel it all. Those politicians thought they were doing the right thing for 40 years. No, you saw that when Pauline Hanson wore a foreign interest scarf on the Senate floor. And none of you charged her with a Section 44.1 or Section 44.2 offence for showing obedience, allegiance, or adherence to a foreign fucking power. Like the World Health Organization, like the World Economic Forum, like NATO, like Israel. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. Now we covered the word salvation. The fear of the Lord, all caps, is his treasure. So if the fear of the Lord, all caps, is the treasure of the Lord, all caps, doesn't that say something about truth versus falsity? Fearing the truth might be his assurance, because we spoke about that in the previous chapter. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, not credit. And the effect of righteousness, quietness, and assurance forever. Forever. Behold, their valiant ones shall cry without. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. Well, you've seen that with Trump's tariffs. You've seen that with Charlie Boy versus the Pope. You've seen that in the international community. You see that in the supermarkets with the doubling of the price of your entire food supply. Behold, their valiant ones. Are there any valiant Australians anymore? Are there? I mean, we used to consider Dick Smith a valiant Australian. We used to consider Kerry Packer a valiant Australian. These are men that spent their money building up this economy. Yeah, they're rich. Yeah, they have tons of money. Yeah, they can do things you can't. But without them, where's your mining? Where's your big industry? Where's your corporations? Where's your employment? Where's your food on the table? Right, so these valiant ones shall cry without. Is Clive Palmer crying without, considering he didn't get his mining lease? Is that something to do with use of the fruits, or the rules of usufruct, or administration of your agricultures, mineries, fisheries, and fisheries, agriculture, mining, and the other one? Right, and shall weep bitterly. Why is it all going to shit? What's going on? Why don't I have control anymore? Why are all these foreigners taking all my stuff? The highways lie waste. The wayfaring man ceaseth. He hath broken the covenant. He hath despised the cities. He regardeth no man. The highways lie waste. No, they are now robbed by highway robbery because, pretty technically, the wayfaring man ceaseth, endeth. Papers! Papers! Nazis are on your soil. Papers! Do as you're fucking told. Go to this courtroom. Pay these bills off. We're going to impact everyone in the country into poverty. And we're just going to follow orders doing it. Even though those orders could turn into international war crimes for jibby-jabbying the entire population in a Nuremberg offence that you wholeheartedly not only took part in, defended and stood up for. You're a traitor. That is an act of treachery at the highest order in the kingdom. Right? And you, as a people, support these criminals. The earth mourneth and languisheth. Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. You have no forest anymore. You have no fruits. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits. Shake off their fruits. Now will I rise, saith the Lord, all caps. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. It's that story of coming to the end and not believing the ones that cried out during the entire time. 20 years ago, I found this out while working in a government server room. Data on a government server. 20 years ago, 20 years later, you didn't want to know anything about it. Oh, help me get out of my shit. I'm a fucktard that got in shit. I need to get out of my shit. I'm going on the Facebooks to get out of my shit. I'm not going to go and talk to people that know what they're doing. I'm going to talk to other idiots like me. Yay, Facebook. And then you went to Facebook and you realise the police run Facebook. The police have a whole entire office of 60 staff on Facebook almost 24 hours a day watching all your shit. Don't you think that they manipulated you back into your stupid? So you would ignore standing the fuck up for your country, town and country, so that they could keep you under the thumb of papers, fines, human trafficking, real world international crimes against all of you. But you never ever fucking stand up for yourselves. Ever. Never charge them with anything. Now will I rise, saith the Lord, all caps. Well, now you're at the end of your tether and you're starting to realise what a fuck up this all is. You're starting to clamber for answers that you never had to look for before because someone put something on the table every time in front of you. There you go, little water state. We'll look after all of your business affairs for you. Just sign this employment contract. Just create this business model in our trade economy and we'll manage all of your affairs for you. You're a stupid little child. And now you've realised Nanny has administered you out of everything you own. And those police aren't relenting on the debt collecting, are they? Here's another fine that's now $4,000 when it was $2,500 last year. Ye shall conceive chaff, ye shall bring forth stubble, your breath as fire shall devour you. The Lord starts to rise and the reality of remembering them in the morning becomes a stark slap in the face. You shall conceive chaff. That's the stuff you don't want in your field. Your breath as fire shall devour you. Would that be linked to some sort of flame in King's Domain? You know, like that Moses burning bush ideology? Oi, you're looking at me. Can you fucking hear me? I'm 62,000 men. I'm 11,500 Victorians. I died for your sins. I died so you could play international peacekeeping. And here we rise to bring about peace in a debt world where peace is not playing with the credit. And the people shall be as the burnings of lime, as thorns. Cut up shall they be burned in the fire. Hear ye that are far off what I have done, and ye that are near acknowledge my might. There is something in here, a foundational structure. Pearls before the swine, right, Matthew? How's it there trolling in the mud, Matthew? Acknowledge my might, not my might, the might of the foundations of God in your country that defied you to be a people. A king might have stood up and gone, oh shit, look at this system that created a country, and look how that country got occupied and invaded. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness hath surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? Everlasting, an eternal flame. Right? The sinners in Zion, the sinners, the debtors in the king's dominion are afraid. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites. Are they the ones that, like Matthew, try to mock everything and copy it? Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to go and pull a sword out of a stone. I think you're a fucking retard. That's what I think. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppression, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutting his eyes from seeing evil. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Would that be you? Would that be you starting to realise, oh shit, those everlasting flames? Oh shit, we're being replaced. We're being pushed out financially. There are no fruits of yours for you to enjoy anymore. Your forest has been ashamed and hewn down? It's because you don't give a fuck about it. You rather play this egotistical, stupid Lortard game, like those two idiots that tried to get out of their fight in the courtroom and he got arrested and taken away and put in jail. Now, he could charge his teacher for teaching him lies. And at some point, one of these people that have been sitting on the media, like that fucking idiot in the last video, is going to be charged by a large group of people for selling them false law. Lies. Lies that cause them to go into courtrooms and mess with their own livelihoods. I look forward to that day when all of you see what these people like, I won't mention names, but you start to see what I'm talking about here. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His waters shall be sure. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Does that sound like David and Goliath with the slingshot? Didn't he smack the Cyclops in the eye with the one stone? A munition. Let's look that word up. Munition. M-U-N-I-T. Ammunition. Munition. Munition. Materials used in war. Military stores of all kinds. Materials used in war. Like a stone of remembrance. Greater love hath no man than to argue on the internet, on Facebook, to be the best hero like Matthew and Sue. No idea. Literally got no idea about the grace of death. Battlefield blood. Just got no grace for this whatsoever, while your egos need to be stroked like the biggest dick in the world. Are you the biggest dick in the world? Possibly. Quite very possibly. Thine eyes shall see the King in his beauty. They shall behold the land that is very far off. Now, the princes that were put into judgment were shown things. Right? They were shown things. Thine eyes shall see the King in his beauty, for the works of God that he did and laid down, so that you could all have them. Oh, I'm going to go and copy them. I don't know what Steve's done, but I'm going to go and copy it because I'm Sue. And I'm a fucking hero. I'm going to pull a sword out of stone. I've got evidence. And you lot actually thinking you can do this stupid shit. Behold the land that is very far off. When we look at Noah on a boat, and he sends a bird out and a raven comes back, and he sends a bird out and a raven comes back, and he sends a bird out and a dove comes back. Is that a peace dove? Does that dove signify you joining some international play? Would that be peace and war? War and Peace, Tolstoy. Go read it. It's like 2,000 pages long. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Where is he that counted the towers? Where are the king's men that did the duties of the estate? You all fucked off, joined the ship and said, "Please sir, can I have some more? Can I have some papers?" And then got given your papers and you put all your stuff in hock. Remember how we discussed the stereo going into hock? And the moment your stuff was in hock, those police turned around and said, "Right, little child, do as you fucking child. We're here for your safety now. Slap! We're here for your safety now. Move into that jail. Move into that fine. Go to that courtroom where we'll manipulate you with our magistrates. We're here for your safety. You're a bunch of fucking children that can't manage your own affairs, and you put your hand out to an anti-state called Charles III and said, "Please, sir, please help." You got no fucking clue what you're doing. No fucking clue how to get out of it on the other end. And it's your own faults. I'm going to pull a sword out of a stone. How's it going to fix your town? How's it going to fix your country? How's it going to fix your unity? Your defense? Does the king have armies? Your defense? "Oh, I'm going to go into your courtroom and I'm the beneficiary of the trust, Mr. Sir." Is that your defense? Well, a foreign monetary power pushes you out of everything you own. That's your defense, you pathetic, weak little people. You only have to look at the video of the guy walking out of the courtroom wearing this shirt and his guts out here. You wore that to court, you bogan. You couldn't even stand in the grace of being a son. My brain just says, you deserve it. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Like a treasurer? What's a receiver in monetary terms? What's a receivership? Thou shalt not see a fierce people, a people of deeper speech than thou canst perceive, of a stammering tongue that thou canst not understand. Thou shalt not see a fierce people. No, we look at you all and we see a bunch of fucking idiots. We see a bunch of children running around playing stupid games with their lives instead of looking at the town they actually live in. Look up on Zion. Look upon the King's domain, the city of our solemnities. Thine eyes shall see Jerusalem, a quiet habitation, a tabernacle that shall not be taken down. Not one of the stakes thereof shall ever be removed, neither shall any of the cords thereof be broken. It's laid down in stone, on the ground, with a massive north line going all the way up into the city of Melbourne. You're not exactly going to blow that up. That would be a foreign war power using actual munitions, like atomic weapons, to flatten and level an entire city. It's happened before, hasn't it? A tabernacle that shall not be taken down. A tabernacle. A tabernacle. Now I got probably half a dozen of you to look at this tabernacle. Tell me what you see. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for it to click because you don't see it yet. A tabernacle. that shall not be taken down. Now, this has got a tabernacle in it, doesn't it? What's that mean? How would that apply to the king's domain? Why is there a tabernacle-looking box in a little alcove between two flames down in the crypt room of the Shrine of Remembrance? Now, Ark of the Covenant, is that a tabernacle? Is the Ark of the Covenant a tabernacle, or are they two different things? Time for you to think, right? I'm not going to give you any clues because people like Sue think she's pulled a sword out of a stone and you think she's a hero. Oh, I'm the best hero. Oh, I pulled a sword out of a stone. Or did you copy Steve after he showed you what that actually was? And then if you go through your allegory, are you now compassing, which is a criminal offence, but you're too stupid to realise that. So you would destroy your own country by undermining your own sovereignty as a people at international law, at the law. At the law. Who's named on the courtroom record? Who had the police turn up and say, I hear they call you the King of Australia? Oh, that sounds like a very Pontius Pilate moment to me, Mr. Federal Police Officer. You any idea what that actually means? Have you any idea that you're not going to go there and do that yourself? Are you at some point now where you realise you're fucking retarded? Matthew, you're a fucking retard. A retard! Sue, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. I just don't know what to say anymore. I just call you out now because obviously I know what I'm talking about here. And you don't. You don't. Thou shalt not see a fierce people because you'll see Matthew. Oh, I'm going to copy him. We're going to pull a sword out of stone. Oh, God, look at what we did for you in the court. We did it all for you. Oh. No, you didn't see a fierce people. You saw a retarded people. A lunatic asylum. A deluded actual life thought. Look upon Zion, the city of our solemnities. Solemn. Solemnities. Would that be where your stone of remembrance was laid? Would that be where all of your towns have an Anzac memorial laid? Would they be the towers that are not being counted right now? But there, the glorious Lord, all caps, will be unto us a place of broad rivers and streams, wherein shall go no galley with oars, neither shall gallant ship pass thereby. Seas, international waters, international law, the rule of law, rule of law, rule of law. I've got to follow the rule of law. Remember that? With Scott Morrison's most famous quote, follow rule of law, rule of law, rule of law, rule of law, jibby, 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 jab, 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 didn't follow rule of law. All fucking war criminals. Surrounded by a bunch of children that won't do anything about it because they're completely incompetent at managing their own affairs. So you can't do anything about it because they're mentally incapable. Look what I did for you in the courtroom. We did it all for you. No, you did something that made you look like a fucking retard. That's what you did. For the Lord, all caps, is our judge. The Lord, all caps, is our lawgiver. The Lord, all caps, is our King. He will save us. He will save us. The Lord, not Steve. Steve stood in the lineage of the Lord. Your ancestors, your lineage, your claim against a foreign occupying power. You're the lawgiver. They're administrators. They create statutory legislations to manage you like the fucking children you are. You won't stand up. Now, the engineer's case very clearly defined that you had a right over and above your public servants if you stood together united at law. At law. Oh, I'm going to go and tandy in the streets of Melbourne and create another protest. Oh, I'm Monica Schmidt. I'm going to do all these stupid things. Are you a plant, Monica? Do you work for some sort of Freemasonry family or something? Certainly don't know what the fuck's going on around you. Maybe that's why you're linked at the hip to tofu. The tacklings are loosed. They could not well strengthen their mast. They could not spread the sail. Then is the prey of a great spoil divided. The lame take the prey. The lame. Not the fierce people. The lame. Would that have something to do with the law? Their tacklings are loosed. They are a foreign admiralty power in your land. They could not well strengthen their mast. Look at Trump having a world of problems right now with Israel. Do they look like they have a strong mast in the seas of international law? They could not spread the sail. Then, after you realise they're a foreign fucking power, only then is the prey of the great spoil divided. The inequitable is returned to being equitable because it is public assets that were privatised, returned back into public hands. And the inhabitant shall not say, I am sick. The people that dwell therein shall be forgiven their iniquity, forgiven their debt, forgiven their serving a foreign fucking power in your land. It never seems to sink into your little pea brains. Oh, I'm going to go into court and be a little hero. Oh, I'm going to go and pull sword out of stone. Oh, I'm going to copy Steve. I swear you are a lunatic asylum. Now in the back of this just blew open in the wind. Law. The commandments or the will of God, as given to Moses and recorded in the first 5 books of the Bible. The 10 Commandments form the core of the law. Bullshit, there are 14 commandments there if you read them very carefully. But many other specific rules appear in the Pentateuch, the books of Genesis through Deuteronomy. Now, the law of Moses forms the foundation of just about every country around the world. Don't care what faith you are. That defines a creation story. So this lawgiver, would that be a line of authority to hold rule of law? And then in that rule of law, which accommodates a foreign power, a hostile power, Would that then bring all the international humanitarian laws and international laws of armed conflict onto the table? But I'm the beneficiary of the... No, you're a lunatic. Put simply, you're a brainwashed fucking idiot. Put very simply. So we can see a king is given in the Lord, all caps, who is the King of Kings. And if we look at the lawgiver, and we look at the law of Moses, then a king is merely the executor of an estate, the father. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy Anzac name. And then that office of king standing in that name. But you all think it's something else. That's why for 20 years, all you've done is played Facebook. Facebook politics, Facebook law, Facebook heroism. I'm the best on Facebook. Who are you in the real world? No one gives a fuck. That's the problem you have. You go to Facebook because in the real world, no one gives a fuck. So you associate with other drongos like you, trying to find solutions to the problem you're all the cause of. You're all the cause of. You have no loyalty. You have no integrity. You have no defense. You have no unity. You're a bunch of ego-driven heroes every day. Buy my flag, put some coffers in my... Right? I'll lie to you all to be the salesman. Isn't that right, Corey? Fucking idiot. At the detriment of your country. At the detriment of the unity of the people standing in the law. Standing in the law, not outside of it. Jesus came to fulfill the law, not break it. Very interesting that, right? So when we look at where we're at in this story, do you deserve to lose it all so that you can snap the hell out of it and get it back? Or do you think you should still be complacent little retards, twiddling your thumbs, complaining about it all the time? Oh, Pauline didn't do anything. Oh, Albo's government did this to us. Oh, they brought all these immigrants into my suburb and now I'm surrounded by Indians. Australia is gone. Because you, as a people, won't stand up for it. You'll whine at those politicians. Oh, Elbow, please fix it all for us. Please, Elbow, fix it all for us. More immigration. We need more slaves in the farm. The current slaves are too poor to run an economy. Bring more slaves into the farm so that we can lend them more money. You can't see that. While they build new suburbs in your farmlands, while they replace your food bowl with other things like commerce and industry, while they take away your properties from you in a poverty cycle, and after all these years, did you ever give a fuck about it together? Or did you only give a shit about yourself? And that's what we said in the previous video. You plod along going to work thinking that you're participating in society and you do nothing in society at all. Nothing. You don't have country women's associations pumping food out every week because you're not their members. You don't have RSLs taking control of their towns and pushing the police away because you're not their members. And at some point, this is going to sink in. You think a bunch of rabid retards running around playing all this stupid lawtard shit is going to fix your country? Where 99% of the country look at you like a fucking retard? Or do you realise this is the central law to all of it? All of it. All of it. All of it. And I just explained to you how you can pull the anchor out from underneath them and say, you're not us. You're a foreign occupying power that committed international war crimes. Including Pauline, more concrete for Queensland, Hanson. Complicit in war crimes. Jackie Lambie was the one that said, we're going to chase you all down, make sure you all get the... Does that sound like a threat? Does that sound like a criminal offence? Does that sound like she participated willingly in that criminal offence? And if she serves foreign interests over and above your own kingdom, is she a war criminal according to international law? Well, I don't know. I've been waiting years for you lot to figure this shit out so we can do something about it. But we never get there because your egos have got the spotlight, right? You're like a memory like a goldfish. What's going on now today, huh? You got no fucking clue because you don't have your eyes open. You don't watch. You don't look around. You don't listen. You don't see. You don't hear. You pop your head up every week and go, hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? You deserve everything you got. Don't ya? Don't ya? So to turn this ship around, have you started to realise something? A king will reign over you. And that king did something which none of you have even grasped was done. Pearls before the swine, right? Swine like Matthew and Sue. What's in the mud? What's in the mud, Matt? What's in the mud? What's in the mud? Oh, let's copy him. Oh, what's in the mud, Matt? What's in the mud? What's in the mud, Matt? Oh, I've got to look in the mud, Matt. Did you find your pearls or did you trample them deeper because you were shown them, didn't comprehend them and said, oh, I'm better than all of that. Trample that all in the mud. Oh, go on, trample it all in the mud. Let's go and cry that we're being thrown into, oh, everything's getting harder right now. They're throwing us out of our own country. Oh, they're bringing in all these Indians. No, think about it. Your whole entire way of life has gone down the tubes and you become someone else's way of life while they do things like, I laughed in London. Someone went and stole one of the king's swans from the park and snapped its neck and took it home to cook it. And never got charged by the king for stealing a swan from a royal park in London. Your whole world is being cooked for dinner and you can't even see it. Albo didn't serve you. Pauline doesn't serve you. Everyone serving that blue ensign with a 7-pointed star serves London. Not you. London. What's London doing with all of your money? Playing a Rothschild debt game from about 1500s? Would this game have been going on for a very long time? Would the crown be manipulated out of itself? Would the Pope have had something to do with that? For the 4th fucking time in history? What would the War of the Roses have something to do with this? What would this Treaty of Versailles have something to do with this? Are you starting to gather now that there is more to this than you ever fathomed? You couldn't explain what that forest is. You couldn't explain what that tabernacle is. You can't even explain what a sword in a stone is. And Sue, you look like a complete retard because of it. Because of it. So today's video is more about slap again. You're starting to realise now that I haven't given you all the answers. I've given you a reason to stand up at the law. You're talking about a government that poisoned you with a jibby-jabby, which is a Nuremberg offence, an international war crime committed by members of this Australian government willingly and openly on the Parliament floor in all states. Remember when Natasha Pulmadick said, threat, 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 we want 100%, we want you all with your MAC addresses installed in your DNA so that your DNA can become your banking data and you can become a real world owned slave with someone's patented ID tag in your DNA. In your DNA. You're sat there. You're sat there like a bunch of children whining and complaining because you don't know who you are to be able to even say anything in return. All you are to them is a dumb ward of state, and a ward of state has no say. The Guardian speaks for the ward in all circumstances, right? Does government speak for you? Or do you start to realise the engineers case put you as the power above your public servants and told you to unite and stop them? Go and read the engineers case. Because I'm sick and tired of explaining all of this to you people. I'm sick and tired of explaining that you have a right at law. I'm sick and tired of explaining that you have the ability to charge these people. I'm sick and tired of explaining that you have the ability to stand up as the occupied people in a situation where the end of usufruct is taking place and massive changes are occurring across the war theatre you call the world, where you have politicians like, what's his name, with the beanie on in the last video, telling you that you're in a world of trouble because you can't defend yourselves without Zionism. Strange, isn't it? I warned you, very fucking clearly warned you years ago for you to still play Lortard games, for you to still be heroes and try and copy everything. Oh, I'm going to be the king. Oh, I'm going to do it all. Well, king of what, Matt? The king of what? The king of the shit ton tart of the shit pile? Are you the turd on the top of the shit pile, are you? Yay to Matthew, king of the shit pile. Woo! You did so well standing up in those courtrooms speaking the crown. I'm the beneficiary of the... You got no idea what you're talking about. Really? So, golf clap to you. Golf clap to you. Because it's about all you deserve. What you've done is called pathetic. What you've done is called stupid. Right? Now, if you want the reality, do we have Royal Australian Regiment soldiers come along and go, what are you talking about? You're undermining who we are. No, I'm not. I'm trying to give you your foundations so that you can defend them properly. What do you mean? Oh, shit. Right, yes, see it. Right, go home, investigate, look more, try and prove it wrong. Come back and go, oh shit, you're right. I can't prove anything that you've done wrong. I'm the beneficiary of the... At some point you're going to realise you aren't the hero. I'm not the hero. I just found something out while I was at work. Just like you. Just another bloke on the street like you. They destroyed my family. They destroyed my income. They destroyed my savings. They destroyed my life. How many other people like me have this Australian government done that to on purpose? On purpose. How many people? Lots. I can name lots. I'm just like you. This was my field of research. Your field of research might have been, I don't know, should have been your mechanics, should have been your plumbing, should have been your electrician work. You're trying to be something that you're not trained to be, and I've been trained to do this. So, good luck to you, Matthew. Golf clap to the king of the shit pile. The king shit. Would that make you a shit king because you're completely ignorant about what a forest is? We just discussed the fruits of your forest being given to a foreign power. We just discussed that foreign power putting you into end of usufruct. We just discussed the Pope going home 2019 and recalling all mover property. We just discussed Israel losing a contractual right to administer stuff on an international stage after 150 years. 150 years since the Act of 1871 in the Congress of the United States of America. You don't know enough. It's at that point where you're the townsfolk, what this book calls the simple people. That's all you are. Simple. You're not complicated. You're not highly intellectual. You're not billionaires. You're not millionaires. You're a bunch of plebs that go to a job and do what you're told. And you know nothing else. And I'm not berating you. I am trying to wake you up to realize you know nothing else. You know nothing about the family estate. You know nothing about business and seals and corporations and shareholders and stakeholders and grantors and all these things. You know nothing. How are you going to succeed if you don't uphold the law? Jesus came to fulfill the law, not break it. A king will reign over you, and the princes will be in judgment. The Lord reigns over us in a system that defined a stone of remembrance, proving that it's not the stone of destiny, proving that Charles III is an occupying power, proving that your country went into demise, proving that something is wrong at the law. At the law. And you haven't figured it out yet. Now, I don't want to rant. I've given you enough information again today. No videos to cut that through with, because this needs to be slapped into you. Are you really this stupid? So I'm hoping that this realization comes now. I want you to think about this. To earn a green beret of an RAR soldier requires some of the most difficult tasks a man is required to do in the military. You're talking about a Navy SEAL in America, for instance. You're talking about Delta 9 in America, for instance. You're talking about the SAS, the commandos in British and Australian military. These people went through training courses that you couldn't even start. These people trained to defend your country on an international stage. These people learnt some things out of this in that job. That's why it made it easier for them to challenge me, to come along and say, what the fuck are you doing, Steve? Stop desecrating our job, our history, our Anzac. I'm not trying to give you the core foundation of that stone of remembrance. And you come along like a fucking idiot. Oh, I know it all. Oh, I've been in courtrooms. I've been studying all of Larry Hannigan's work. Oh, I'm Dick Yardley. I love Dick Yardley. You want to suck Dick Yardley's dick, don't you? Instead, actually look at the reality that you face. Just want to keep sucking Dick Yardley's dick. That's all you want to do. Instead of look at the reality that you face. Now's your chance to look at that reality. So again, come to the end of another episode. It's been very cold this week and I've had, not the flu, but I've had chills and shivers. I've been difficult to try and keep warm. So I've been staying inside at night and all that, just trying to keep rugged up. So sorry for making you wait for a week and a bit, but there you go. I feel better. The sun's out, starting to turn from winter back into spring, summer, spring again. Your donations keep this going. Jump down below and drop in donations. I am working on this website. I am looking for people that want to write news stories. If you go and have a look, there'll be a searchable news story section there. I'm going to publish more of my photos. I'm going to upgrade the donation page. I'm going to upgrade the mail receiving. There's a problem, it's not working properly at the moment. So I'll fix a few things in the website so that we can continue to grow, push our media out further, and then continue to show you, continue to speak on your behalf, continue to act as your countrymen, continue to stand united, continue to realize they are our servants and not our masters, and work towards actually putting them back in their place. Right? This might have indicated to you now how that's possible. Would that stone of remembrance versus a stone of destiny have something to do with that? And can King Charles compass another king? Especially when he's a nanny state and not the enemy. The enemy left the building in 2019 and Israel is having a really shit time because of it. Does that mean you should return home? So, again, drop some donations in. We keep speaking. This is us as a country standing up finally. This is you as a people starting to realise your answers aren't Lord Harding like those idiots on Facebook do all the time. Your answers are in your town. Your answers is in your community. Now, if you want your community to be 90% Indian, that's your fault. You didn't go to your chambers of commerce. You didn't create an economy. You didn't stand in your town united. You didn't speak up with all the other townsfolk. You didn't push your Lord Mayor. You didn't stop your CEO of your council. You didn't do a fucking thing. And you sit there expecting it all to be done for you. And that's not how it works. So welcome to poverty. Welcome to losing the kingdom altogether. Welcome to waking up to the fact that that occurred, and welcome to us all trying to get it back together. Together. Because I'm just like you. I'm an IT guy by trade. I program and do server room stuff. And you're a mechanic. And you're a plumber. And Jace is an RAR soldier. Do you understand now that this stupid game has to come to an end? And at some point, we have to do this together, like a family, where our fathers died so that we could have what they built? Or you could sit on your hands and pretend that you're the beneficiary of the stupid little trust and end up in jail. End up poorer because the police keep hammering you because you don't unite against the police. You don't unite against your council. You don't unite against the states who poisoned all of you. You vote for these cretins. You never say no more. You say, please sir, can I have some more? Please sir, Elbow, fix it for me. Oh, I'm an incompetent, retarded little child. Fix it for me. Fuck that shit. Get off your asses and start fixing it together. Stand up with the power that you are and put your public servants back in their place for once. It's all you needed to do was step the fuck up to these people who are international war criminals. I don't need to make that any clearer. Pauline Hanson is an international war criminal. What does that make all of the rest of them? Like Jackie Lambie, who said, we're going to chase you all down and force you to have this jab. While Scott Morrison stood there and went, rule of law, rule of law, rule of law, rule of law. Did Scott Morrison know that everyone around him was a fucking war criminal? Maybe he did. Because of what we put in Scott Morrison's office. I'm the beneficiary of the... Anyhow. We come to an end. Thank you for all of your help so far. You can see I do know what I'm talking about here. And as we discussed in the last video, you'll know the teachers that are teaching you bullshit just by their actions, by their fruits. You shall know them by their fruits. And the police officer said, that's not how it works, little child. I am obligated as your guardian to take you into custody. You put your account up as bail. You're in the pawn system and we will collect. I don't know what else to say for today. Help us out. We'll get onto this website. We'll read a little bit further. We'll go through this work. I'd like to get to the end of Isaiah, and then we can look at. I want to hear from some of you now that you start to comprehend. What are you going to do to change this? Are you going to sit on your hands waiting for Pauline Hanson to fix it when she's the one that did it all to you? Are you going to vote for criminals? International war criminals that serve foreign powers over and above your own country. Well, I'm going to fine you if you don't vote. That sounds like human trafficking to me. Are you going to stand up to being human trafficked by a foreign occupying power? Are you going to stand up to being enslaved? Are you going to stand up to being poisoned? Are you going to stand up to anything in your lives? Or are you just going to sit on Facebook and complain all fucking day?